20 years ago, a seed was planted and cared for. We painstakingly nurtured it and weathered it against adversity until one day it blossomed and the fruits of our labor began to show. Today, millions have learned, shared, and been inspired by what our community has produced. We proudly served 21 million users from 204 countries in 2019. For our 85,000 technical articles, code samples, and videos, our 450,000 forum questions, and our highly anticipated conferences and events featuring keynote panels, live streams, and industry experts and influencers, we recognize and reward members for their dedication to the community. Through content contributions and mentorships, we ranked number 2,620 in the world with a reach of millions across our social media channels. Thanks to you, our global community of software and data developers grows stronger each day. For more information, visit us at csharpcorner.com.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Growth Mindset Show. My name is Mahesh Chand. I'm founder of C# Corner and host of this Growth Mindset Show. If you are joining us back, you already know this show is every Friday, 12 noon Eastern Time. If you are joining us first time, welcome to the show. I'm outside of Philadelphia. Not far from it, and today is very nice, amazing, beautiful 80 degrees or maybe 90 degrees. So summer is almost here. Outside is nice, beautiful, flowers everywhere. Today we got a very exciting show. We are going to talk about energy, a very important show as well if you focus on health and energy and productivity and motivation and everything else. We have a special guest, Aaron Johnson. Aaron Johnson is a motivational speaker. He's also a former professional player, basketball player, and also runs his own company. So he will talk more about himself when we invite him. If you are joining us first time, I just want to let you know that this show is actually focused around you. We take all kind of questions. Just post your comments, post your questions. Chime in what you like, what you don't like, you agree, disagree. Venkat, welcome back to the show. Everybody's good. Good morning to you. Good evening there in India. Everybody welcome to the show. Just say hi when you join the show first time. Just say hi so we know you're here. Let us know if you watch frequently or you are here first time. Again, today we are going to talk about energy and how it's important to kind of think about energy when you're thinking about productivity and efficiency. Let's get this started. So what I will do today is actually, first I will start the show with our topic of the day. Today I'm going to invite our guest, and at the end of the show, we are going to talk about some of the things we have done on the website, C# Corner, as well as we have some upcoming excitement coming up in the community, not just from the online part, but also, I don't know if you saw the news, but Simon, we have started doing some, in-person meetings, at least start traveling around, and things are getting better. So, all right, so let's get this started. Let's make this screen big. I'm doing this show from my iPhone today. Hopefully you all can see. It looks nice and bright and black. Oh, I'm matching today. See my shirt with Mindcracker and Mindcracker logo here. Awesome. What a mess. That's great. You see my background now. I mean, this wall has always been there, but this is nicely now you can see Swami Vivekananda, which is awesome. My favorite person. All right, so let's get started. So today we are going to talk about energy and how energy matters. And I'm going to relate it all that to our productivity and how we do work, right? So Before we start anything, I'm going to talk about what energy is, and I'm sure some of you already know. Think of energy as a fuel, right? So if you have a car, you need a fuel to drive the car. If there's no fuel, the car can't go anywhere, right? So we, as a human body, if you compare this human body to a car, or even a computer. I like to compare with the computer because we are in computer. That's easy for us to kind of compare. Energy is electricity, right? So we need electricity to run our power to run the computer. So it's important to, we need energy. We need to get energy. We also need to spend energy. That's what energy is all about, right? And this, how we consume and spend energy can lead to good results and bad results. And that's really where we are here today to talk about. So, what I will do is let's invite our friend Aaron Johnson so we can take these topics together and just, talk together and, just share with you. And if you have any questions, any comments, you agree, disagree, feel free to chime in, post your comments, post your thumbs up, thumbs downs, ask your questions. So let's get our guest in here, Aaron Johnson. Hey, Aaron,
Hey,
how are you?
Mash.
Good
Great.
morning.
Thanks for having me today. I'm excited to be on the show.
No, awesome, awesome. You're welcome back. I know you were there before. One more time. You want to quickly tell our audience about yourself?
Sure. Yeah, it's a pleasure being here on this show, Growth Mindset Show, and my background is a former professional basketball player. Played 11 years professionally. Stood in the NBA. The rest was in Europe. I was able to start a company called Ball Beyond, which is a training and consulting company for mostly basketball players and athletes. I helped get the third player ever to be drafted in an NBA or G League affiliate from India here in America, drafted by an NBA affiliate team. I started an education company that helps place international kids from all over the world, and now I'm doing a lot of motivational speaking and life coaching with a lot of different people as well as companies. So I'm just excited to be here and share my thoughts, and hopefully everyone gains some perspective from it.
That's great. That's great. So we have audience joining us. Keshav is joining us. Good morning, Keshav. Bhaskar, welcome to the show. Naveen, welcome to the show. I'm glad you guys here. So, Aaron, today we are talking about energy, and you know how energy is very important for us to do anything in life, right? And energy
Sure.
can be in bad ways and good ways, and how goal really is to share some tips like how do you convert your energy into the right direction, right? It's all about pointing to the right direction, right? So I'm gonna share some of few slides here. So Simon, if you can bring the slides in. Um, so, before we talk on the topic, so I want to break down this energy. There's two kinds of energy, right? As a human, there's six kind, whatever, but I'm simplifying it. There's a energy, like a body energy and brain energy. Body energy is physically what we do. And usually, obviously, for body energy, we need food, exercise, sleep, all that. So physical energy, that's think of that. And there is a brain energy. Brain energy all means, we may be sitting or sleeping or whatever, but brain is still doing something, right? Um, so goal really is to think about these a little bit, give you little thoughts on that. So when you are thinking about you need more energy, you're tired, you feel tired. What can you do so you don't feel that tired? Also, how you can use your brain as a being more productive. So that's kind of we want to break around here. It's just 2, 3 more slides and then we will talk. Uh, so we know that in this universe, energy is finite, right? Equal to mc square. I'm sure everybody, all people you are watching here, you have read that equal to mc square, right? So same thing with us, right? Energy in, energy out, and we have to make the balance. Sometimes if you are spending too much energy, then you already have, that means you're going to get tired. So when you feel tired, it's that simple that you have less energy, you're spending more but you have less. Sometimes you are too energetic and you don't have a lot of work. It simply means you are taking too much energy in and then you're not taking out too much. So how do you balance that? And balance is the key. That's the difference. Balance is the key. So Aaron, I want to bring you in, and
Sure.
what do you do, like how do you balance your energy, like when you think of in day to day, obviously we all do sometimes less work, sometimes more work, sometimes we are tired, sometimes we are motivated. How do you balance that in your day to day life?
I think the biggest thing is when you wake up in the morning, that sets a menu of your day. So, a menu for something to eat would be, breakfast, lunch, dinner, then you have your main courses. I set up energy that way. When I wake up, I do 50 push-ups to get my blood flowing, to get my body going, and then I take a cold shower. After that, I go get either sweat in or I get on calls and I start my day. I think it's so important to get your blood moving and your body moving to start your day so that you can create that positive energy. And I think a lot of negative energy and a lot of low energy people, they have a tendency to speak low. I think your voice and the way you carry yourself gives you an opportunity to create positive energy and energy that people are drawn to. I think energy, people draw to positive energy and people stay away from negative energy. And you can see that by the way people talk, the way they carry themselves, the way they're passionate about things. So I think on a daily basis, the way I address it is I have a menu of energy every day from what I do from an exercise point, what I put into my body, and then ultimately at the end of the day, how I settle myself down after a long day of hard work, which we've all had.
Well, that's interesting. That's great. So we just heard that energy is like a menu, right? It's like a to-do list. It's like your task list.
Yeah,
You just
exactly.
can't go and wake up and do whatever. You have to kind of plan it, right? And you said it. That's great. That's great that you start with this doing some push-ups and then you start with cold shower. That kind of I think wakes you up, which means get your engine running. It's like engine
Yep.
running. Yeah, you start the car and
Yep.
then get the energy flowing.
Yep.
And then obviously good food matters too. So
Yeah.
um, so take those tips. That I didn't know that voice. Yeah, that's very important. I never thought of that. Like if you are speaking up, you kind of are more like have a lot more positive energy than you are, low. And yeah, that's a good point. I never thought of that. Do you guys, everybody who's watching us, do you agree, disagree? Also share your thoughts. What do you think of when you think of energy? When you see somebody talking really low and down, what do you think of that? Do you get drawn to them, or do you yourself? What kind of energetic person are you? So let us know. Let us know. Start posting your comments here. So one thing, as we know that similar to any gas or electricity and all that, I think what a lot of people, here's funny story. I'll talk to. Yesterday I was in New York. Okay, yesterday I was in New York. I took a cab. Obviously, New York cab takes forever, from one place to other place. And this taxi driver, he's been talking almost for I'm listening to him, and he's talking to somebody for like literally 42 minutes. And I'm not sure what he's talking, but obviously, if he's talking to somebody for 42 minutes here, somebody's talking to 40 minutes to 2 minutes from there. So what I have noticed, Aaron, is in my life is people who are really don't have anything to do or they are not really successful. To me, they seems to be talk a lot more and seems like they're really busy. You will always see they're always busy, they're always late. But if you should look at the traits of successful people, like including Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and all that, you look at anybody who's successful, they always seem to have enough time and enough energy. You will never find them busy. Wonder what's that? You want to share some thoughts on that?
Yeah. I forget who said it, but energy is so contagious, good or bad. And I think when you're in business or you're in relationships and you're trying to do different things, people have a tendency to say, I'm really busy. What busy is relative, busy is relative to who you want to see, right? If you're busy, but you really want to see someone, you make time. If you're busy and there's a deal you want to close, you'll make time. I think the people that operate at the highest levels in business and just in relationships in general are the people that don't let negative energy come into their day where they may say they're busy because they understand that time will create negative energy for them. And I think that's so important because in our lives, it's not being disrespectful to somebody, but if you want to continue to grow, you have to grow with people around you that want to do the same thing. And it's one thing to help somebody, but it's another thing to continue be around people that always tell you how you can't do things instead of how you can. And I think in society globally, you know, we have a tendency of friends when you're growing and you're climbing that mountain, whatever it is in life or business, you know, people tell you how that you can't do it and why you shouldn't do it. And I think that's a little bit of obviously negative energy because they're afraid you're going to do it. And there's a little bit of insecurity about their own life. I think the best thing, you know, we can do is when someone says that is be positive with them and push them and don't drag them down and say, this is stupid, you're not going to do it. That kind of is a self-reflection of what you are. And I think going back to what we're speaking about in energy is that draws incredibly negative energy. And then what it does is it makes you become almost someone that always wants someone to fail because you can say, I told you so. So I think it's so important to understand that busy is relative and it's relative to who and what you're dealing with. If you really want to do something, we always make time.
So that's it. That's a good point. Busy is relative, right? So what I'm not sure. Most of us know that when we are doing something, or let's say talking to something or thinking about something, if you prioritize your task, as you said, like this is my priority in a day, and this is my focus. So if you want to get, your business going on, or you want to get your book writing or article writing finished, or you want to have your programming done, you need to prioritize that, right? So a lot of people, what I see is they will do things, talk about things where they don't matter to them. Like I see people where they will talk about other people for hours and hours and hours. It's adding no value to their own goals, right? So to me, that's the kind of biggest waste of energy, because you may not be spending your physical energy a lot, but your brain is still drowning, right? Like it's literally spending all that energy. Your brain is thinking, right? If you're talking about some people, it's thinking about those people, the pictures in the brain, it's processing how bad they are, how good they are. So to me, the spending time on things that don't matter to your goals is kind of waste of energy.
Yep.
Right. So it's like you are, watering a garden with no flowers in it. You're just like, okay, watering the grass. There will be no flowers if you don't. So you got to focus where the flowers are,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's great. Good point. So, yeah. So point is that, when I was listening to this taxi guy and I said, hey, stop here, let's go. He's like, I'm busy. Give me a second. I'm like, you're busy. I understand. But you got to get moving because I need to go somewhere. So whenever everybody who's watching this show, think about, you feel like you're busy, but are you really busy? Are you busy? Busy in what? Some people I know, busy without business, right? Sometimes you're busy without business. So you have no business, but you're busy because you are working on things that don't matter to you. So try to prioritize those tasks. All right, so let's get back to our slides. So again, that's what we just talked about, is don't spend your energy on things that don't add any value to your goals. And I think it starts with your goals in life, your goals in a day, your tasks in a day. Once you start prioritizing things and revolve everything around that, your energy will then be focused and spent on right things. So that's kind of one of the biggest tips I can give you. Deepak, welcome to the show. Naveen, welcome to the show. Good to see you guys back. Hopefully you are learning something useful today. Today, we have here Aaron Johnson, CEO of Ball Beyond, motivational speaker. We are talking about energy, how to, get more out of your day or your time. Obviously, the last point here is that you got to monitor and measure energy, and that's what really Aaron also mentioned, that you need to, start with your day, have your menu there. The menu means like, okay, this is what I'm going to do today. Start with the right, mindset. All right, so let's back to there. So so now we just talked about energy. Now let's talk about how do we sometimes, we don't have enough energy. Some say, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I can't think straight. So, we talk about two kinds of energy here. One is physical energy, body energy. One is brain energy. So how do you really find energy or create more energy, right? And Aaron, I think you covered this a little bit. I think I have here, as I say, if you want to have more energy in your body, you start exercising, you need to eat good food, you need to have really good sleep, you also need to figure out how to compete and also how to get motivated. Do you agree with that? You want to add something to that?
Yeah, I think it's so important in what we put in our body. I think when we have lethargic meals that are heavy in breads and butter and different things, it's automatically going to draw us to have a little lower energy because we're going to get tired, we're going to get sleepy, we're going to be kind of lackadaisical, and it's going to be hard to move throughout our day. And I talked about this with some of my athletes and some of the different places I've spoken. Is if you're training for a fight or you're training for a job that you want, you're training for a relationship, you want to be in the best shape possible, mind, body, and physically. So it's the same thing with energy. Like it's what you put in is what you give out. So if you're taking in foods that are giving energy that are high in vitamin C and vitamin D and give you that that extra morning burst, that's going to help you in your day. And I think if you're going to have meals that kind of are comfort meals, have them in the evening before you go to sleep, necessarily before you relax and do that. Because I know so many people that, my friends, for instance, I tell them, hey, stop drinking coffee, having coffee and 4 donuts, because those donuts and all that sugar is taking all that good energy out of your body and making you sleepy and wanting to relax and not be motivated to the next thing. So I think food is so important, and I think when you put good things in your body, it gives good things out, and that's something that we say it's cliche, but if you really, like I said, build that menu of success every day with your energy, what you eat physically, you'll start to have incredible energy throughout your day and feel way better about yourself.
Yep, yep. And also, yeah, brain. Let's talk about brain energy now, right? So I was reading more. So there's something that can help you, get your brain going on. Obviously, exercise helps both sides, physical and mental, but also
Mhm.
reading, problem solving, running, and learning new things. They kind of help your brain gets more energy, right? As you said already, energy is contagious. So hanging out with the right people is. So every time I know when I used to go to this MVP summit in at Microsoft in Seattle, and this is once a year conference where all the MVPs around the globe they come. So when you go there and hang out with them for 5 days, by the time you come back, you just get so much energy that's good enough for the whole year. That fuels you, motivates you. Like, yeah, I gotta do more of that thing. And it's this energy is not just that's done in one day. This energy lasts you like for a long time. So you want to share something on that? How people can achieve that? Like where they can get more energy by hanging out with the right people?
Yeah, I think I've gotten really good energy and really good motivation from learning from people who are where I want to be. And the key with that is a lot of people look at the person in front of them or where they want to be, and they try to emulate every step of the way what they've done. And you can't do that because you're unique. You have your own story and you have your own trials and tribulations that you're going to go through to get there. So I always like to look at people that have taken nothing and turned into something massive. Obviously, you have Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, who are visionaries. And I think a lot of energy, good and bad, comes from fear. I think fear gives us good and bad energy. I think in business, if you don't have any fear, you're going to fail. That's super dangerous because you're gonna you're gonna you're gonna be fearful when you start a company or how you're going to pay rent. But that's what drives you to win. And I think sometimes when you have you either have fear that you're going to lose it all, or you have fear that you're never going to get there. And I think fear is good, and fear can be taken in a way where you can drive yourself to face it. We all know the psychology of fear is to face it if you want to get rid of it. If you're scared of spiders, you need to be in front of a spider and not run away from it. If you're scared of snakes, you need to face it head on and hopefully not get bitten and get through that situation. But I think fear does an amazing thing when you're trying to figure out of what your life is going. You have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone, and that'll create that energy and that momentum that'll get you to where you want to go. And I think that fear energy all relates so much because when you're hit with that big hardship, whatever it is, your mind goes to the worst thing always. And it's hard to train your mind to get to the next stage and say, no matter what is coming or what I face, I'm not going to look at the glass, half empty, but half full. So I think those type of things are really important to find motivation in people that where you're trying to get to. And then when you feel those moments of fear and anxiety, that you step into them with 2 feet and face them as hard as you can. And I'm telling you, that will create the positive energy you need to finish your day or go after your goals.
Very good. Very good point. Good point. So everybody who's watching, joining us, we are today talking about energy on this growth mindset show. Everybody, welcome to the show. Feel free to ask your questions. Feel free to chime in. What do you think about today's topic? Do you like this? Do you agree, disagree? Feel free to post your comments. Let's get finished to almost done there, right? So other things you can also do is with you can stay positive and read successful stories and challenge yourself. I think challenging yourself is one of the big thing you can actually train your mind, and that will eventually turn into more and more energy. So with that said, I think this is it. This is our episode on the energy. I want to go back to now Aaron. Simon, you can remove the slides now. So Aaron, now I know you are a motivational speaker and also trying to start your business and all that. So if anybody who's watching this show and they want to start their own business, what did you learn from your experience, which you can share with they will go through that and they will probably get stuck, and how do you overcome from that?
I think the biggest thing is don't be afraid to be vulnerable. I think vulnerability is so great if you can just accept it and understand that your path in business is going to be challenging. And no matter what you think is going to happen, it probably won't. It's almost like a fire that comes and you don't expect it. You have to put it out and rebuild that area that was burnt. I think business has been the most challenging thing in my life, becoming a former athlete and then getting into the business world. I'm still learning every day. I'm still growing every day, but I'm realizing that you only have one, when you're the business owner and you're creating something, the good thing about it is it's on you. It's on your shoulders. It's on you. You can't blame anybody. It's completely on you. And I think if you're willing to take that chance and you're willing to be vulnerable and humble yourself, you can be successful. And I think in the things that I've started and things that I'm involved in, I'm learning so much. And it's made me grow as a person because, taking that on your shoulders and creating wealth that never existed is an incredible feeling. And also when things aren't going well, it's an incredible feeling. So my biggest advice, if you're starting a business and want to get started, is be vulnerable, number one, and step into fear, number two. Number three, understand the market you're getting into. Number four, understand the demographic you're getting into, depending if it's a product and service or if you're trying to start a coding company or something in technology. Find great mentors to help you through that process so you can have great information to begin your business. And then lastly is read and just understand everything around your business, because the more you read, the more you see what's out there, the more you make better decisions. And I think those things have really helped me to not just start the business, to grow the business. And then more importantly, when we have these challenges with a month or 2 months, or we're going through like the pandemic, which we've all seen, is how to pivot. I think being agile is the biggest trait for being a great business person. And I'm still learning, and I'm not where I need to be, but I'm growing. And I think the ability to be agile, to be able to pivot when things aren't working that way, and changing a model to be successful.
That's great. Awesome. And I think that concludes our show. It's perfect timing. This is great, Aaron. Thank you so much for
Thank you for having me.
Show. And hopefully I'll bring you back again in the future.
Love to come. Thanks again, everyone. Appreciate it.
So everybody, in one more second here. So if you are up to date on C# Corner website, you probably noticed that we launched a couple of new features. We have added a company profile. What does that mean is if you have a company and you're writing an article or you're doing anything on the side, you can actually update that and it will come on your content. That's good for actually entrepreneurs or people who have their own small companies, consulting companies. So yeah, you can see right there, there's a new company profile is available. Beside that, we have actually I know Simon was traveling in last couple of, I would say, months, and he had recently connected with MVPs in Hyderabad. So we are going to start doing some more MVP chapter events. And then last thing I want to add here is that there's a conference coming up. It's a Bcrypt conference. It's for blockchain, cryptocurrencies, Web3 world. So NFTs and all that. So if you are into that world, check out the website bcrypt.live. There's actually it's the same umbrella, but there's going to be two conferences. One is in New York, coming up in first week of June, and there's going to be second one in New Delhi in the third week of June. So check this out. If you are local in those areas, you want to learn more about blockchain, crypto, NFTs, and Web 3.0, this conference is probably for you. It's going to be a very exciting conference. A lot of learning. With that said, so next week, Aaron brought up a good topic. It's fear. So next week, I'm going to actually talk about fear and how to overcome any kind of fear you may have. And trust me, I'm going to share a lot of personal experience. So join me next week, same time at noon. Let's talk about fear and how to overcome your fear. With that said, I will thank you everybody for joining and be a part of this live show. And I will see you next week. Thank you.